Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Heart to Heart series. In today's episode, we are talking about a new legacy loading. Yes, indeed, a new legacy loading. I am Deetra Dennis, and I am the founder of Full Circle Health Coaching LLC, and I am the heart health coach to Black women that value, own, and invest in their health. And I empower them with evidence based and culturally relevant lifestyle interventions that support them as they live at their optimal heart health. Well, you might want to know, what is heart to heart? It is our opportunity for girl talk, for us to have conversations from the heart about the heart. And we do that over a glass of what I call red wine. But it's really hibiscus tea, because hibiscus has have many benefits, health benefits, but one in particular is a heart health benefit in that it relaxes the blood vessels, therefore lowering the blood pressure. Before we get into the content, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, share the video with a sister that you feel could benefit from the information that is shared here. And then, I always say comment below, because even though you're watching the replay, it is girl talk. So, not a monologue, but a dialogue for us to have a little chat in the comment section. So, feel free to do that. And so now I also now invite you to pour your red wine, and cheers to you. And let's chat it up about a new legacy loading. Well, last week I talked about it's time for a new legacy, because it's like enough is enough of our Black women leading in a lot of the heart health or heart disease. And so the quote from last week. Now, so if I look down, I'm reading my notes. So the quote from last week. This is what it said. Now listen intently. It says, I can't change the hands of time, but what I can do is create a new legacy. So that is what we're going to do here, create a new legacy. So over the next few weeks, we are going to do again just that, create a new legacy. So in this first part of the series, we're going to talk about the state of the Black women's health, the state of Black women's heart health, that is. And we just received the State of the Union address from the president. And the purpose of the State of the Union address is a message where the president talks about the issues, that's facing Americans, and then offering ideas or suggestions to solve those problems. And so that is what we're going to do here. We're going to highlight, and now today may be a little heavy, because we're going to talk about the state right now, but we're not going to stay there. So hang in there with me, but we are going to talk about that now. So again, I want to share the statistics of the things that is facing us as Black women. So first of all, some you've heard me talk about them before, and others you have not. So again, just hang in there with me. Put your seatbelts on. So first of all, remember we talked about more than 50% of Black women over the 20 years or older have a diagnosis of high blood pressure. And we talked about that one in the video, check yourself before you wreck yourself. So if you wanted to get more detail about that, you can go to that video. And then also in that same video talked about nearly 80% of those with a diagnosis of high blood pressure is not controlled. And again, in that same video, we talked about the consequences of having uncontrolled blood pressure. It could be a heart attack, stroke, many other things. And last week, I talked about, studies have shown that an uncontrolled blood pressure can also lead to cognitive conditions like dementia, which is the umbrella diagnosis, and or Alzheimer's. The other thing is that cardiovascular disease kills nearly 50,000 of our women every year. That's one too many. Okay. And also of our women at 20 years and older, 49% have heart disease. So already with the high blood pressure, again, if it's not controlled, it's going to lead to heart disease or heart failure, any of the heart disease. And then 1 in 5 of our women um, believe, I'm sorry, let me do that over. Only 1 in 5 of our women believe that they are personally at risk. So that's not good because, again, heart disease is the number one killer. The number one killer. A person dies every 80 seconds. Okay. So we have to really know what's going on there. So the other one is only 58% of our women are aware of the signs and symptoms of a heart attack. Now, going back to one of my other videos when I talked about men and women are different, I really go in detail about the signs and symptoms of a heart attack because women and men present differently with different signs and symptoms of a heart attack. So if you want to learn more about that and get more detail, go to that video. And then lastly, only 36% of our women know that heart disease is their greatest health risk. And that is above all cancers combined. So it is so important. And I know that that was heavy. So you know what? I think what I want us to do right now is just take a little sip of our red wine because that was very heavy, those numbers, but we're not going to stay there. So let's take a sip. Okay. So again, so those were the facts. All right. Those were the facts. But you know what? The truth is more important than the facts. Okay. So the truth is health is our birthright. Can you agree with me on that? Health is our birthright. So we start today to create the health we deserve. Okay. And so over the next 5 weeks now. So this is the first one. This is part one of a 6-part series. So hang in there with me if you can come back each week because we're going to really go in depth about how we're going to solve this problem step by step. So it's going to be 6 parts that we're going to go over as it relates to, and we're really focusing on high blood pressure because again, it's so out of control that it's resulting in many of our women passing away or having heart attacks or strokes or the other consequences that we can, change that narrative. So what I will do, so when you come to the YouTube channel here, I have a playlist. So if you go to the YouTube channel and then you click on playlist, all of the videos from the Heart to Heart series are there. But I think what I'm going to do is create a special, since this is like a special series, I'm going to create a playlist for this 6-part series, which it will be entitled Creating a New Legacy, so that you can refer to it quickly without having to scroll through all of the other videos. So I'm going to do that for us. So come back next week and we're going to talk about, how do you have conversations with your healthcare provider? Once because last week we talked about your family health history and then asking the provider, your healthcare provider, certain questions. So we're going to go in depth about what questions you should ask, and then even more later on throughout the series. So again, thank you. I have enjoyed our time together, and I hope that you have found value in this. I know it's a little heavy, but we're going to move forward so that we can change this narrative. We are change makers and we can do this together. Okay. And so, I always invite you to get social with me. You can go over to Facebook at Full Circle Health Coaching LLC. And if you would like to receive my weekly newsletter, you can go over to the website at fullcirclehealthcoachingllc.com. I have that in the description below as well, the links to those, as well as the link to the hibiscus tea if you would like to have the tea when we're having our talk. And so I always like to leave you with this quote because it really rings true. And that is, you are the full circle, and within you is the power to create, nurture, and transform. And we're going to do just that. We're going to transform these numbers so that we be the epitome of health. That's what I would love for us to see. And I hope that you stand in agreement with me on that. And so until next week, I want you to walk in your power.